Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video in preparation for Lent, which starts tomorrow with Ash Wednesday, where we will get ashes on our forehead in the way of a cross, the greatest symbol known in Christianity. The darkness of the ashes on our foreheads remind us how fragile this life is, how we are simply clay vessels in this body, and one day we will turn to dust. The outer shell of our person does not really mean very much, so this time on earth, and this time of Lent actually, reminds us to look at our inner person and who we are becoming, and our depth of faith, hope, and self-giving, and our love, and if it is all that Christ wants it to be. This is what Lent is all about, and why we embark on this 40-day retreat, and 40 representing the 40 years that the Israelites spent in the desert, and the 40 days and 40 nights that Christ spent in the desert being tempted by Satan. Christ told us that some demons can only be driven out by prayer and fasting. The two go hand in hand. Prayer keeps us rooted in the fact that it is our desire to carry out God's will, and fasting is a sacrifice that helps us reach beyond our own limitations with God's help. There are other works of means of doing penance, acts of self-denial, like giving up candy, chocolate, chips, pop, and other pleasures, almsgiving, and works of charity. These, along with spending time praying and fasting, demonstrates a desire to love and to know God, and directing focus and attention on God and on others, and it is like a spiritual cleansing and renewal to draw closer to God. Lent is a quiet time, but not a sad time. If we approach it like a depressing time of suffering and starving, then we set ourselves up for failure. Lent is a time for love and a journey of hope being fulfilled. Lent can and is transformative, and it is through sacrifice that Lent becomes real. There's a difference between burden and a cross, though. A burden is something that we do without understanding how it connects with God, a person, or the church. But a cross is the greatest symbol of love, with and for Christ. That is why there is beauty in suffering, and there is redemption in the cross that we carry in life. When we look at Lent, it's our love affair with God. We gladly do these things to show our love and our willingness to spend time with Him. This Lent, I will be spending more time in prayer and consecrating myself to the Blessed Virgin Mary, starting on March 25th on the Feast of the Annunciation and leading up to Divine Mercy Sunday on April 27th. I will also be active in the 40 Days of Life campaign, fighting to defend the right of life of God's children, all of them, in our current culture of death, as well as water fasting tomorrow and every Friday through Lent, and that includes Shakeology. No Shakeology. So I call upon my team, BelieverBody and you, to join myself and followers of Christ around the world during this journey to do all that you can for Him who gave you life and gave His life for you. God bless.